Good morning everybody, and welcome back to another episode of my Rarest Drop series. In this series, I take your submissions and scour the internet for the rarest recorded drops in Oldschool Runescape history. So yeah, over the last couple of months, I've gathered quite a few interesting images, and with Next coming out kind of recently as well, we have a couple very rare images from that, which is impressive considering it's only been out for like 2 weeks. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy. As always, if you do, appreciate a like in the video. Let's get started. Alright, so keep in mind, as always, these images are put in a loose order from what I perceive to be the least rare to the most rare, but there are some other factors which might change things up a bit, so don't worry about the order too much. Now, starting us off here, we are heading over to the new boss, Next. Now, the image we have here isn't really one person's drop, but a combined effort from the entire lobby. Here is a triple drop from Next, where the entire group collectively managed to pull a Torva full helm, a Nile horn, and a Torva plate body. Now this happened within the first few days of the boss's release, and while we don't really know all of the in-depth mechanics of Next's drop table yet, one thing's for certain, this is incredibly rare. Even with the slightly more common drop rates that were present in the first couple of days, I would say this is easily a 1 in 100,000, if not more. Again, we don't really know exactly how the mechanics work. I've never seen a double drop and not even close to seeing a triple drop in around 500 kills so far, so it's damn rare. Now coming up next here, we have a submission by CholezMusic. Now this player has had a pretty amazing week. Now they started off by getting the Theater of Blood pet on kill count 438, but only a day later after that, and they pulled probably one of the most desirable drops in the entire game, and that is the Bowlet, or a Twisted Bow and the Omelette pet from a single kill at raids. So damn lucky, and it looks like those challenge modes are paying off. Okay, so while we're in the area, we have another Chambers of Xeric image. Now here's one of the most insane Chambers of Xeric logs I've seen. To be fair, they do have a fair number of Chambers of Xeric and challenge modes done as well, totaling just around 1,000 kill count, but just look at the log here. Okay, so the first and obvious thing we have to look at here is 6 Twisted Bows. That is pretty insane even for the kill count that they have, but not only that, they have 3 Omelette pets as well. Go on, share with the rest of us, man. And a nice selection of other rares here, including the Din's Bulwark, the Twisted Buckler, the Dragon Ender Lance, and some Ancestral. They honestly, realistically, could complete the Chambers of Xeric log. They pretty much already have the hard parts out of the way. Such an insane log though, and congrats on your like 7 bill. Okay, so coming up next here, we have an Ironman with some of the best luck I've seen this month. So they were going to go get an Armadillo kill, either to do the diary or maybe they wanted access to Next. Either way, they were going for 1 kill, and you can see that they got the Armadillo chain skirt on that kill. Or did they? They actually got something even luckier than that. They got the Armadillo chain skirt before they got their first kill count, which means they got it from a minion. Now the odds of getting that from a minion are 1 in 16,000, and you only get 1 shot at that. Or I guess 2 shots technically, because there are 2 minions. Not to mention you actually have to kill the minions before you even kill Armadillo. All coming together for a very impressive collection log. Unfortunately, they did get the 1 kill, so there is no image of the 0 KC collection log slot, but still very impressive. And of course it's on an Ironman, because why wouldn't it be? Okay, so next up here we have a player by the name of EatmyPasta, who got pretty much the rarest drop from Septiikos. On kill count number 17, they managed to get the Jar of Darkness, which is the rarest jar in the entire game, thanks to its ludicrously high 1 in 2,500 drop rate on a boss where nobody to date has managed to kill it enough to even have hit the drop rate. On top of that, they hit the 1 of the 1k on getting the Onyx, a once-in-a-lifetime drop that they managed to get on kill count 17, and from a boss that you can only kill every once in a while, this would be hard to replicate. Oh, and an elite clue, didn't even notice that. Now coming up next here, we have a collection log for Next, the new boss, and there are a couple things to break down with this image. Starting off here, look at all the drops they have gotten in under 500 kills. Now let's start off at the top here, the Next pet. Now this drops at a rate of around, I think, 1 in 500. Sounds low, and you're like, wow, they have 500 kills, pretty well on drop rate. no, that's not exactly how it works. I believe it's 1 to the 500 per kill, which means if there are 10 people in your lobby killing next, and you all have the same chance of getting the next pet, you each have around a 1 in 5,000 chance of getting it, which is similar to a God Wars pet. Now that said, this player most definitely was not doing it in 10-mans, and we'll explain why in a second, but if they're doing it, let's say, with 40 people, that means the drop rate is now 1 in 20,000, which is honestly probably pretty likely. Now, because players kill next in a variety of different team sizes, I believe the best way to tell roughly how big of a lobby they were generally in is looking at their Nihil shards. So this player has 67 Nihil shards, which means most likely they were doing it in pretty large masses for the majority of these kills, yet they managed to get the next pet, and that's not all. On top of that, they got the Zarite Vambraces, the Torva Full Helm, and the Torva Plate Legs, all in under 500 kills, which is so insane. Just for comparison, I have a somewhat similar amount of kills, and here is my log. Now I have 237 Nihil shards, and this player has 67, which means based on the lobby sizes I did, mine were probably on average at least half the size, if not a quarter the size. So we know the next pet is incredibly rare, and maybe even a 1 out of 20,000 that this player got it. The chance that he got some of the other items are probably close to 1 out of 2,000 for the rest of them, which they managed to hit 3 times. That's all to say, this player is insanely lucky for next only being out for a couple days. So a huge congrats, and who knows, maybe he'll be the first person to complete the next log. Now coming up next here, we have a group Ironman by the name of JebaIron who got so damn lucky at the Dagannoth Kings. So obviously their account is pretty new because group Ironman is not that old. So they're heading over to the Dagannoth Kings, presumably to get their Dagannoth rings. And on kill count 44, they managed to get the Dagannoth Supreme pet. So lucky, as the odds of getting that are 1 in 5,000. They got on kill count 44, not bad. But what makes this absolutely insane is during the exact same trip, around 9 minutes later, they get the Dagannoth Supreme pet again. I guess it would have been a little luckier had they got a different Dagannoth King pet, but still, the fact that they hit that roll twice, just a few minutes apart in a trip, is kind of insane. Dagannoth pets are pretty rare. I mean, 1 of the 5,000 is nothing to scoff at, and they hit that twice. So coming up next here, we have a collection of images by someone called, I'm just going to call them Kiwi. They have a couple accounts here. And this person is the absolute definition of an Elysian magnet. So starting off on his most recent Ironman account, here is the first instance of maybe getting a little lucky at the Corporal Beast. Kill count number 7, he gets an Elysian. Same account, only 50 kills later, and they get another Ellie, this time in HD. So 2 Ellies in under 60 kills, not bad. And if you look back further, here is him on another account with an Elysian drop at kill count 117. And then only 80 kills later, another Elysian at 197. Absolutely insane. Not to mention, apparently had another Elysian sigil on his main account at 51 kills. That's kind of insane to have happened to the same person on essentially 5 separate occasions, because the sigil drops at a rate of 1 out of 4,100, not 1 out of 50 like it appears to be for this person. So a huge congrats on a completely insane collection of Elysians. Coming up next here, we have ZuksBum, who got one of the rarest pet drops in the game, and that would be a farming pet from Tithe Farm. No clue why they made it so ridiculously rare to get this occurrence, but they did. It is essentially a 1 in 7.5 million chance of getting it from Tithe Farm. I've only ever seen one other person get this, and this player managed to get it at 79 farming, so pretty low level actually, to hit at 1 in 7.5 million. Now finally here, coming into number 1 spot here, we have someone called TipTopMcGoo, who got pretty damn lucky at Bandos. So they're doing some Bandos, and on kill number 440, they managed to hit the pet Grador. Not bad considering it is a 1 in 5,000, but that's not all. 1 kill later, and they get Bandos Tacets. So the back-to-back, that's pretty damn lucky, but they go for 1 more kill, and they get the back-to-back-to-back, including the pet, which is ridiculous. Not to mention they're an Ironman and they got both the tassets and the chest plate, which is also just nice to have as an Ironman. Such an insane succession of luck. So a gigantic congratulations. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a really lucky image or a weird occurrence that you want to submit, feel free to leave it in my Discord. There will be a link in the description, and chuck it in the video submissions channel. When I make a new video, I always look through there first before I collect all my clips. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Now, before I go here, I want to give a huge thank you to all of my members over on YouTube. Thank you so much to Cesarium OSRS, The Hybrid, Alejandra, Sejuani's Flail, and Kush Patel for all being subscribed at the Dragon tier. Thank you guys so much, really appreciate it. Also a giant thank you to Ryan Shady, Mexose, Basstich, NDM001, and yoyosup89 for all subscribing at the Runite tier. Really means a lot. As always, if you are looking for another way to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is a great way to support me directly. You will be immortalized in all of my future videos, get access to a custom role in my Discord server, and my video release schedule. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you next time.